Walton, we're underway in Game 2 of the first-round series between the Cavaliers and the Bulls. Just over 2 minutes have gone by, and the Bulls holding a 5-3 lead on the Cavaliers. Cleveland beset by injuries. Their normal starting front line, Nance, Doherty, and Hot Rod Williams, unavailable for play today. It's a mix-and-match lineup for Mike Fratello, but they've been hanging tough against the favorite Bulls, and Ron Higgins hits for the Cavs to tie the game at 5.
That's a very good start for Higgins. 1 for 6 in Friday night's game. He and Mark Price didn't get it done offensively as the Cavaliers struggled.
Horace Grant, his outside shot goes, and the Bulls reclaim a 2-point lead. First bucket for Horace.
Horace Grant has basically played your perfect ball game, dominating defensively, hitting jumpers.
Mark Price with an acrobatic shot, and Price, the key man for Cleveland today, held to only 9 points on 2 of 11 shooting in Game 1.
Price certainly capable of that type of play. Chicago should send guys at him, though.
Scottie Pippen can't get the roll. Hill with a rebound for the Cavaliers.
Hill, very solid rebounder.
Tough catch for Phils, but he makes it. He's checked by Pippen. Bobby Phils getting a start in that makeshift Cavalier lineup. Only the backcourt, Wilkins and Price intact. And Wilkins lost it, but was fouled. Well, earlier, before the rest of you joined us, there was an alarming incident as B.J. Armstrong driving on Mark Price. Foul will be called on Price, but continuing this trend of violence in the NBA, Price and Armstrong square off. Double technicals were called, and the two were separated, but becoming the norm in these first-round playoff series.
No place in basketball for any of that. Initial elbow thrown by B.J. Armstrong that time.
Price. Stolen. Myers has it for the Bulls. 3-on-2 break. Pippen couldn't control. Grant.
Big guys running on the break. 4 guys involved that time. Horace Grant is the trailer. You can't make it. Make sure you at least make contact with the rim as Pippen did.
Bulls by a deuce. Here's the double team of Wilkins. Leaves Phils open. Higgins inside. Lost it. Got it back. Lost it again. Pippen leads the break.
Tremendous defensive strategy by Chicago.
Scottie Pippen with a 3. Pippen coming off a 31-point, 12-rebound Game 1. Puts the Bulls up by 5. It comes with 7:32 left in the first period, and Chicago up 12-7.
All new Thursday comedies on NBC.
As your engine revs higher, the oil inside creates a hydrodynamic wedge, a protective layer that builds up and keeps engine parts separated. But as your oil's viscosity breaks down, so can the wedge. That's why Castrol GTX provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your viscosity breaks down, what's next? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars. Now get a free official licensed NBA team hat when you buy a case of Castrol GTX.
If you're looking for a way to get from here to there that eclipses all other forms of transportation, look at this, the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Now you can buy a 94 Eclipse for $159 a month with $500 down. Or buy any 94 Eclipse and get factory cash back. The Eclipse from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
At the time, Muggsy, a man of small stature, was to battle the giant named Goliath. Armed only with an incredible thirst to prove himself, Muggsy, fleet of foot, did circle and confuse Goliath, and thus slew the mighty giant. All the people celebrated. Sprite flowed freely, thus it was written. Height is nothing, thirst is everything. Obey your thirst.
I was speeding up Route 7 with 7 7-footers with severe appetite. So I suggested Taco Bell 7-layer burritos, just 99 cents. but several sought something more substantial. Serendipity, baby! Now those same 7 sensationally sumptuous layers are served with succulent chicken or seasoned beef. Sustenance City! They were so excited that the new chicken or beef 7-layer burritos indeed now had 8. That's just what they did. 8! Cross the water, baby!
7.5 minutes left, opening period, with the Bulls up 5 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Welcome to Chicago Stadium with the big redhead here, almost pressed into service by Mike Fratello. So thin are the Cavaliers currently, and no question in their condition, Mark Price is the key figure in the game.
But what Chicago's strategy is going to be is to force Mark Price to give up the ball. The double team, that's what they're going to do each and every time. Price has got to either split it, throw bounce passes by it, because Chicago, when their defense is key in their fast break, they are incredibly tough to beat. Horace Grant never gives up on the play, finishes strongly.
Game 1, a subpar performance for Mark Price. He has 2 points to open this game. But the Bulls have stepped up the defense. In fact, they've forced Cleveland into 4 turnovers over the last 2.5 minutes. Price.
3 guys on Price that time.
Got it to Higgins, to Phils, and Bobby Phils hits to draw Cleveland 2 closer. First basket for Phils.
Chicago's strategy is to make somebody else other than the backcourt guys, Price and Gerald Wilkins, beat them. Let's see what these normally second-string players can do.
Wennington has replaced Longley in the pivot for the Bulls. Beautiful move by Scottie Pippen.
What we've seen, what they can't do, is that's block Scottie Pippen's shot as he soars to the hoop.
Pippen and Price collide. And we'll wait for the call from Jake O'Donnell. It's on Scottie Pippen.
Price down the lane. Pippen steps in a little bit late. Good call by the officials. Of course, the partisan crowd here does not like it. That's the rules of the game. You can't step in late after the guy's already made his move.
First foul on Pippen. Price to Higgins.
Every time Price touches it, there's a second, often a third guy right there.
Yeah, everybody comes flying at him. Wilkins got rid of it to Higgins, and another foul call. Pippen called for his second in the space of only a few seconds. So Pippen has his second foul with 6:44 left in the opening period.
Gerald Wilkins, very strong opening night performance. 22 points.
And in the absence of a good scoring game from Price, it was Wilkins that really kept the Cavs in it, and they were in it until the 4th quarter when the Bulls behind Pippen finally pulled away. And here's one of the key figures in that game 1, Tony Kukoc, replacing Pippen. Kukoc came in game 1 at the end of the first period, had an assist for a basket off the break. To start the second quarter, had 3 straight buckets, one of his best performances, and for a change, heard cheers from the crowd here at Chicago Stadium.
The Bulls, they have a habit of playing just well enough to win a lot of these games. Phil Jackson, a little upset that the team didn't come out with more intensity. He feels they're a little overconfident with this depleted Cavalier team.
Kukoc touching the ball for the first time. To Myers, outside shot, good by Pete Myers of the Bulls.
The dribble handoff, always effective against pressure defense. Both teams shooting remarkably well. Chicago just getting more shots caused by their better defense.
Pete Myers 2 for 2 to open the game. Full court pressure from the Chicago Bulls. Price beats it with a dribble.
Price so quick.
And got open for the 3. Rimmed out. Phils off the offensive board. Had it batted away. Goes back up and got the roll. Bobby Phils.
Phil Jackson went to his bench so early that nobody really had a chance to get warmed up, as the Bulls embarrassingly can't even inbound the ball.
Well, Gerald Wilkins was picking up full court, causing the Bulls to take a 20-second timeout because they could not get the ball inbounds.
The scrambling defense that Chicago is employing will open up all kinds of offensive rebounding opportunities for Cleveland. If they can take advantage of it like Phil did that time, they'll be just fine.
Well, you know, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Mike Fratello has seen Nance, Doherty, and Williams all go down with injuries, and the lineup he puts on the court is like trying to match up socks from your drawer that none of them go together, and he's trying to mix and match his lineup to find a combination that will work in the absence of those three. You talk about a good-looking front line. The problem is clothes make the man, and it's the expensive suits that are looking good right now with Hot Rod Williams, who broke his thumb in practice last week. Larry Nance to his left. Brad Doherty also over there on the bench in street clothes.
Not only do I not have suits like that, Tom, I don't have that many socks to mix and match either. I buy as I go or get them from the trainers at each stop along the NBA tour.
And yet in the face of adversity, the Cavaliers playing hard in game one. And Grant will get the roll on that one. Soft touch, and Horace Grant has hit all three of his shots.
Horace Grant playing a beautiful game, perfectly under control. What the Bulls aren't doing, though, is calling out the picks in the backcourt as the Bulls get called for an illegal defense.
Higgins leveled Myers to the chagrin of the crowd.
The dribble penetration, Kukoc heavily favors that left hand. They force Kukoc right. Grant doesn't get any opportunities like that.
Actually, they took the basket away from Grant and gave it to Kukoc on a tip. So Kukoc got credit for that last basket as Weddington goes out, replaced by Scott Williams.
Phil Jackson has used his entire lineup basically in the first half of the first quarter.
Price spots Wilkins at the arc. Gerald Wilkins' second tray of the game. 8 points for Wilkins, and the Cavs within 2.
Gerald has been working very hard on his outside shooting. Feels it's the key to his ultimate survival in this league as his career winds on.
3-point field goal shooting good. All the shooting has been good here in the opening quarter. 5 minutes left. A three from Myers. That one didn't look good. Price saves it to Hill.
Price is one of those guys who just knows where the ball is going all the time, much the way Magic Johnson used to play.
Split the double team. High off the board. No good for Mark Price, and Williams with a rebound.
Even though it looks like a force, he has got to do that because he's not going to get good looks time and time again at the hoop. Nobody else out there to take the defensive pressure off of him.
Double team of Grant on the low post. Kukoc on the drive. Williams works his way to the hoop. It'll count. And a Cleveland foul. Scott Williams was a key figure in game one as he had a career playoff high 21 points.
Cleveland is normally an outstanding shot blocking team as Williams apparently travels on his way to the hoop, but the referees decided that was a foul instead.
Look at his career this season, 7.6, his highest scoring average, as he's gotten quality playoff time. He's spent 3 years as a pro, and he has 3 championship rings to show for it. He's been bothered here in the playoffs by esophagitis, a stomach ailment that sent him with a tube down his throat before game one. He's on a special diet now, and it seems to have straightened out the problem for the most part. The only thing bad about it, he says, is no chocolate.
Fortunately, you don't run on your stomach.
Scott Williams had a big performance game one.
Bills, excellent defense by Chicago. They're going to do anything they can to make somebody else bring the ball up the court. You got Price, you got Brandon out there. They're expert ball handlers. Phil's not quite in that level.
And Kukoc with the good defensive play. Phil Jackson was saying that Tony Kukoc generally feels that if he makes a bad play, he's going to come out of the game. And Jackson told him, only if you make a bad play defensively. And he said the result has been that Kukoc has become a much better defensive player. JoJo English handling the ball for the Bulls. Armstrong cut off.
Cleveland playing very good set defense in their own right. Just not with the shot blockers inside that they would normally have.
Kukoc for three. Grant can't get the follow down. And Kukoc is fouled. Tony Kukoc hitting the offensive board.
The Bulls just relentlessly pounding away with the superior advantage they have, size and strength. Kukoc manhandled, shying away a little bit from the contact there.
Bulls have out-rebounded the Cavaliers 4-1. Kerr into the game, offensively 4-1. English misses. And the Cavaliers a chance to cut that 5-point lead.
Forcing guys to take difficult shots.
Brandon against Kerr. It won't go. Horace Grant with another board. He has 4.
Horace Grant continues to dominate. He's usually matched up against guys like Larry Nance and John Williams. Although Tyrone Hill is a quality player in his own right.
Williams got around Mills and missed the layup. Brandon walks it up court against Kerr. English went for the steal, committed a foul.
Chicago's depth at all positions allows them to get so aggressive defensively, really set the tempo. Phil Jackson can just look up and down the bench and really go 10 or 11 deep.
He's gone 10 deep here in the first quarter. Only John Paxson and Bill Cartwright have not played.
The two guys who have been here since the beginning, who are still here. They're the guys that know the triple post offense from its inception.
Wilkins hits the free throw, and as Bill Cartwright looks on, the Chicago Bulls call a timeout. Chicago up on the Cavs 21-17.
Hey, so we would have had shoes like this. Do you think we'd still be playing now?
Hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Come here for a minute, big guy. Tell me about your shoe, man. This the one we all wear this?
My name on this shoe. They don't put my name on this shoe, man. They got Michael Jordan. They won't put Dennis Rodman on that, see? They won't put Dennis Rodman on that, see? Eric Darwin. They should at least paint the bottom blonde or something.
Her inquisitive mind, her desire to learn, her willingness to work, her need to achieve. All the pieces that add up to your need to learn all you can about college funding. So when your child is ready for college, you will be too. Her senior year, Dean's List. Peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock.
Research has demonstrated that the ergogenic effect of carbohydrates...
No other beverage has been proven more effective than Gatorade at replacing...
Gatorade during exercise has been shown to
absorb 30% faster than water.
Gatorade contains the optimal balance of carbohydrates and electrolytes.
No other beverage has been proven more effective at replacing...
Nothing quenches your deep down body thirst better.
Scientifically tested, athletically proven. Only Gatorade Thirst Quencher is liquid technology.
For that deep down body thirst.
Come out to play!
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
The all-new Mitsubishi Galant, filled with thoughtful details.
These are a few of my favorite days.
Buy a new Galant ES with automatic transmission and air conditioning for $750 down and $199 a month.
These are a few of my favorite days.
The affordable Galant ES offer, perhaps the most favorite thing of all.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. By the Prudential, peace of mind. It comes with every piece of the rock. And by the all-new Mitsubishi Galant, filled with your favorite things.
Welcome back to Chicago Stadium, with the Bulls leading the Cavs 21-17. And there you see the front line of the Cavaliers in street clothes for today's game. We asked B.J. Armstrong of the Bulls if that made it tough to get ready to play them.
I tell you, when you come to this time of the season, anyone that's not wearing a Bulls uniform is the enemy right now. So if they have guys hurt, that's part of this game. And you have to stay hungry. You have to have the aggressive attitude of, you know, when someone's hurt, you got to take advantage of it. So now we have to be even stronger now as far as our mental attitude of preparing for them and being ready to take them out and deliver the blow that's really going to eliminate this ball club.
A baby-faced assassin, B.J. Armstrong, and he already is squared off in this game against Mark Price.
Championship-level teams are not just satisfied with winning ball games. It's how they play. The Bulls, dissatisfied with Friday's performance, they want to come out with a very strong performance tonight. They're looking good. Cleveland's hanging tough.
Wilkins hits the second free throw. He has 10 of Cleveland's 18 points. Jump hook, Scott Williams.
It seems as if Chicago can do whatever they want up front. Scott Williams, Horace Grant just pounding the boards, tipping it in, jump hooks.
Mark Price on the bench for the Cavaliers at the moment as Wilkins tries to take up the scoring slack and is short on that one.
Pick and roll.
Stripped from Kukoc. Brandon with a runaway. Terrell Brandon lays it in, and then suddenly it's a three-point game.
If you can get Tony Kukoc going to his right, you've done your job defensively.
Outside, Steve Kerr won't go, and a loose ball foul called on Scott Williams of the Bulls.
A moment ago on Kukoc's pick and roll drive into the lane, you got to learn to protect that ball a little bit better. More time spent on your offhand will serve you quite well.
Back to the free throw line, one on the penalty for Tyrone Hill. Hill from Xavier, a Cincinnati native that went to hometown Xavier in his 4th year in the NBA. 6'9", drafted in the first round by Golden State in 1990. And he's been forced to really come on with the absence of the big guys for the Cavs.
And he's responded. Last 3 games, tremendous production. The guy who's suffered through a number of injuries himself this year. Hurt his knee against the Knicks and tore his thumb up a little bit. Thumb injuries. Remarkable how extensive they are in the NBA.
That's the first point for Tyrone Hill. He does have 3 rebounds. It's 23-21. Here's a whistle away from the ball, and illegal defense called on the Cavaliers. That's their first. So Fratello's team will get the warning this time. Next results in a technical foul, and Tim Kempton in the game for Cleveland as Fratello forced. He only has 10 men available, and he has gone deep into his roster in the first period as well as Phil Jackson.
The versatility of the Bulls showing here. Basically all of them good ball handlers, good sense of the game, nice passes.
Nice pass that time from Kukoc, who hits Grant for the slam, and Horace has 8 points.
Cleveland's not really doing enough defensively to force Chicago out of things, force them to stand still and dribble to make their own shots.
The 2 marquee players of this game, Scottie Pippen and Mark Price, residing on the Pine at the moment as Kempton comes up short on a 15-footer. Chris Mills with the offensive board. Just over a minute left in the first period from Chicago Stadium.
Don't know why they don't just double team right there. The same strategy is going to apply with Mark Price as it does to Gerald Wilkins. Kukoc driving again to his right. Cleveland doing a good job there. When you allow a guy to drive the lane and then just throw a ball right underneath to a guy for a dunk, you're not getting it done defensively.
You think Horace's glasses are 3D? I'd like to peek through those sometimes. They look like 3D glasses to me. I
remember when he used to not wear them because he didn't think he looked good out there. And he also didn't like the fact that Barkley kept trying to slap him off his face.
I think those glasses enable him to see through defenses. He just right through them. He, as you said, has had a near perfect game to begin this contest as Wilkins again nails a free throw. He has 12 points.
You don't have glasses like that in your wardrobe, Tom?
I need them. If they work for him, I'm getting them. 2-point game. Final minute of the first period. Kukoc penetrates. Back to Kerr for the 3. Penetration. Kick it to the open man.
Kerr, of course, spent a number of years with Cleveland early in his career. Nothing's better than beating the teams you used to play for.
He was for Cavaliers from 1989 to February of 92, Steve Kerr, who just collides with Mills.
The swarming defense.
Another board for Horace Grant. That's 5. Bulls will hold for the final shot of the period. No, they won't. English for 3. They'll take it.
Whenever you shoot quickly, quickly off that initial penetration. You're so much better off rather than standing and waiting.
Kempton leveled Grant with a pick. And the shot was not gotten off before the quarter ended. A nearly flawless opening quarter for Horace Grant. He hit 4 of 5 of his shots and pulled down 5 rebounds. And though Scottie Pippen picked up 2 quick fouls, the Chicago Bulls lead at the end of one, 31-23.
If you're looking for a way to get from here to there that eclipses all other forms of transportation, look at this, the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Now you can buy a 94 Eclipse for $159 a month with $500 down. Or buy any 94 Eclipse and get factory cash back. The Eclipse from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous. Beautiful, Debbie.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders helps stop flakes from even forming. You see the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Since your face can't adjust to your razor should adjust to your face, which is exactly why we designed the Schick Tracer. The Schick Tracer is the only razor with blades that bend and flex to the unique shape of your face. So the Tracer gets in close for a clean, comfortable shave. And since you can't change your face, maybe you should change your razor. Schick. We're changing the face of shaving.
Okay, guys, baseball or bass fishing?
Baseball. Bass fishing.
Hey, guys, watch this.
Miller Lite presents professional baseball. Watson calls for a fresh bass. There's the windup and the fish. It's a high fly bass. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste and less filling, you can combine anything. Here comes a play at the plate. You're out. He caught the bass. Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this? Whoa.
World champion Bulls close the first quarter with a 6-0 run, and as we start the second, they're up 31-23. Dan Hicks is with us on the sideline today, and Dan, it looks like the Cleveland injury woes continue to mount over there.
That's right, Tom, as if the Cavaliers really need another injury. Bobby Phills got poked in the right eye. It happened in the first quarter, and he has been getting some attention from the trainers ever since. Here is where it happened, and he's been on the bench for most of the later end of the first quarter, getting some eye drops. He's been putting some ice on his eye as well. They tell me it won't affect his play, but we'll have to wait and see. Tom?
I don't know. It seemed like it would affect your play if you can't see. That eye is red. You can see it from here, and watering. You have to have a cut man as well as a trainer over there on an NBA bench these days. Ice on the eye of Bobby Phills, who started for Mike Fratello.
Gary Briggs, a longtime trainer for Cleveland, got his work cut out for him. He'll get it done.
Tony Kukoc came in for Scottie Pippen after Scottie picked up 2 quick fouls and dished out 6 assists. And there's English wide open at the rim.
And 7 assists now for Kukoc. The Bulls' second unit clicking beautifully today, the way they did prior to the All-Star game in the regular season.
Since Pippen left, the Bulls have outscored the Cavs 19-12.
Harold Wilkins really holding the ball a lot.
Nice move by Wilkins, who forces it to the hoop. Mark Price continues to rest on the Cavalier bench.
Give and go.
Pippen back in, lays it in from Kerr. 7 points for Scottie Pippen, despite some long stretches on the bench with 2 quick fouls.
This Bull team just represents a long tradition of great offensive basketball from the coaching staff. Phil Jackson, Tex Winter, John Bach. Give and go basketball. Very basic pass, fake away, come back. Chris Mills, young rookie out of Arizona. You got to step to the ball in that situation.
And Bobby Phills, watery eye and all, has returned to the Cavalier lineup as Ron Higgins sets an illegal screen, turning the ball over to Chicago. It's foul number 3 on Higgins. Kukoc backing Phills in, dishes to Winnington. Can't get the roll. Rebounded by Mills. Notes. It is Mills that brings it out and gives it up to Brandon. Surprised that Price is still on the bench?
Price only plays about 32 minutes a game in the regular season. Situation like this, I think he's got to go 48 minutes. What's he going to do, rest up for tomorrow?
Brandon with a quick outside shot. Terrell Brandon has 4. And the lead cut to 8. 2 minutes played in the second quarter from Chicago Stadium.
A weak side post.
And 1 as Wilkins commits the foul.
My favorite part of the triple post offense, the weak side pinch post. Scottie Pippen sees he's wide open, just steps in. The defense helpless. Beautiful ball movement.
The Warriors face the Suns. The NBA playoffs continue next on NBC.
You beat it up, weigh it down, push it around, and it never asks for a day off. You expect that from a Chevy truck. And when it comes time to sell your Chevy, it'll keep on giving with the highest resale value of any full-size pickup. So you not only get more for your dollar, you get more back. From Chevrolet, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
If your feathers have been ruffled by downdrafts in the market, get on board something big, safe, and secure. GetNet. It pays.
This Goodyear AquaTread pumps away over a gallon of water every second with its Deep Groove Aqua Channel. That's 396 gallons per mile. Think about it. The all-season AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
Now our first place essay winner, Jory Bell.
When I am a parent, I hope I won't have to be a single parent. You have to work all day, spend time with your kids, and take them places like McDonald's for a Happy Meal so they feel special. When I have kids, I hope my husband lives forever. But if I have to be a single parent, I want to be just like my daddy.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Goodyear, #1 in tires. By Schick Tracer, it traces every curve on your face. And by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
The triple post offense. You got 3 guys on one side of the court here. Weak side action happening. I think you try to keep the ball over there, but when they swing it to the top, and weak side pinch post, stop it right there. Then you got action right there as Pippen slides right in. The defense not watching the ball, allowing Scottie Pippen to just waltz his way to the hoop.
He's the heir to Michael Jordan, and so far in the playoffs, it has been Air Pippen, H-E-I-R, as he missed his first 3 shots today and has hit 4 in a row since. 9 points coming on the heels of that 31-point performance in Game 1.
Not only is Scottie Pippen capable of carrying this team to the championship, he's willing to. A lot of guys who have the skills don't want that responsibility. He enjoys it.
In fact, I think if you believe Phil Jackson's account, and no reason not to, that the only part of his newfound mega stardom that he doesn't enjoy is dealing with the press. Kempton fouled by Winnington.
Tim Kempton going to be the recipient of a nice pass by Terrell Brandon waits a little bit too long. Tough to shoot right in the guy's face like that. Like to see players use the jump hook in that situation.
Kempton, a big redhead from Notre Dame, a journeyman to say the least. Here is the litany of basketball teams that he has toiled for, and he has put a new standard on gluttony with his feat of eating a Whopper in one bite. That's his main claim to fame so far. Tim Kempton. He was just signed by the Cavs April 15th. They're glad they have him now with their numbers seriously depleted. Pippen posting up on Phils, and Bobby Phils whistled for the personal.
The beauty of the Bulls' second unit is the way they pass the ball around. Rarely touches the floor. No shots attempted really off the dribble except to beat the shot clock.
John Paxson in the game now, so 11 Bulls have played, and we have 9:20 left in the second quarter.
And I would assume that Cartwright won't play today unless it comes right down to the end, but he's just sitting over there resting those sore knees. They're trying to get something out of him in this playoff run.
Cartwright started game one but played only 6 minutes, and the strategy is to save him as much as possible for a second round series.
Beautiful wraparound entry pass in the post.
Mills took it away from Kukoc. Then he is tripped. Let's see if that'll be 3 on Pippen.
Personal foul, Scottie Pippen is third.
The triple team in the low post. Got to get rid of that ball before it gets there.
And Pippen with a trip, so a key point in the game. With 9:03 left in the second quarter, Scottie Pippen charged with his third foul.
And he was trying to get out of the way.
Quick shot by Brandon goes. Terrell Brandon has hit all 3 of his shots, and the Cavs are within 7.
Brandon and Price playing together, something that I thought that Fratello would go to. All their best players play the perimeter right now. Got to make some sort of changes.
Shot clock to 4. Kukoc. Kempton tipped it out. Here's Brandon on the Cav break. 3 on 2. Price drives on Kerr, and Steve Kerr commits the foul. So Mark Price coming back into the game for the Cavaliers, and immediately drawing a foul from Kerr.
Price will play the off guard now. Brandon will primarily handle it. But what Chicago is going to do is never leave Price to help out on penetration, help out in the low post. Price got his work cut out for him. He's got to fight his way open off screens. Movement without the ball.
Scottie Pippen has left the game with 3 fouls for the Chicago Bulls.
Fine step out by Winnington that time.
Good catch by Phils, who spots Kempton wide open. Tim Kempton off the bench for 4 points as the Cavs inch closer.
Very similar to the game Friday night.
And Phil Jackson's going to try to regroup here with a timeout.
They have a situation where Chicago seems to be in perfect control, yet Cleveland hangs right in.
Cavaliers.
Until now, only one species commanded the water with such speed, agility, and style. The 1994 line of Sea-Doo watercraft. So advanced, they're evolutionary.
Today's engines need Castrol GTX, the motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your oil breaks down, what's next? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Take a new look at the Black & Decker Jigsaw. It's cut out for so many projects. It's one tool you'll use all around your house. Get the Jigsaw from Black & Decker.
the new Camaro convertible. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
To whom it may concern, my mother abuses me and tells me if I tell anyone, she will let some bad person take me away. If you don't believe me, you can ask my sister. The last time, my mother slapped me in the face and my nose started bleeding. I wish I could find a new family far away who's going to be nice to me. And the family doesn't have to be rich. Can you help me do that? P.S. Don't forget, a family that's very nice and far away from here.
Live from Hollywood, country music's biggest night. Every country great, one spectacular night. The Academy of Country Music Awards, NBC Tuesdays.
Scottie Pippen has scored 10 points for the Bulls, but on the sideline right now with 3 fouls. An MVP-type season for him, though, this year as he stepped out of the shadow of Michael Jordan.
The years that I've played alongside Michael has definitely been years that I've, to some degree, been overshadowed. But I think, you know, I was always looked at as a guy who was very consistent and played the game well, had a lot of knowledge for the game. But when you got a guy like Michael out there, it's hard to look at someone else because you have so much good to say about a guy like him.
Scottie Pippen, a huge season this year. Career highs in 3 of those 4 statistical categories. The difference, though, between being consistently good and consistently great is what makes guys MVPs in the NBA.
Kicked ball, recycle a shot clock, and give it back to the Bulls. In the second quarter, the Cavs haven't missed a shot. They're 4 for 4.
And that thought about consistently great, that's what requires the incredible self-motivation that very few players have.
Williams double teamed, finds Kukoc.
Chicago forcing the defense of Cleveland to double team, and then just picking apart with the fine passing.
Mills steps up. Rolled off, but Kempton with an offensive board tapped it to himself. And a Chicago foul. John Paxson, number 1. Tony Kukoc has done a good job for the Bulls. That was his first basket a moment ago, but 8 assists.
Kukoc does so many things well. He really didn't finish the season strong. A lot of disappointed basketball fans hoping that he would do better, but today he's on the money. Not how many points you score, it's how many points your team scores.
Price under some tough defense from Armstrong. Got it to Hill. It goes, and Tyrone Hill will have a chance for a 3-point play.
Tyrone Hill sliding along the baseline again. Everybody for Chicago just forcing Mark Price to give it up. He's their leading scorer, Price is. They want to see what guys like Tyrone Hill, Tim Kempton, Chris Mills can do.
Well, Hill can do on that 3-point play as Horace Grant committed the foul, and it's a 4-point Chicago lead.
I think Chicago's convinced that Tyrone Hill can do it. I'm not so sure they think that Phils, Mills, and Kempton can do it.
Fairly lifeless crowd, too, today. On the crowd almost anticipating victory against a banged-up Cleveland team. Williams misses from in close. Mills with a board and an outlet to Brandon. Cleveland won the season series decisively against Chicago 3-1. Brandon can't hit it. Kempton again kept it alive momentarily.
Beautiful tip by B.J. Armstrong.
Grant missed it. Williams is fouled.
Tom, you talked about the seeming confidence of the Chicago crowd, the Chicago players. But really the story of the Cleveland Cavaliers with Mike Fratello and Mark Price, they're key guys. That's always been overcoming adversity. These are 2 guys who have been told their whole lives that they don't belong in basketball. They're not good enough. They're not big enough. This is not their game. These guys have succeeded in the face of adversity their entire career. These guys can get it done.
Since a 7-14 start, Since December 18th, they have gone 40-21 under Mike Fratello. And he asked him yesterday, he said, looking down at that bench, seeing all these top players in suits, do you want to go back with Marv Albert and become a broadcaster again? And he said, as bad as things are right now, they are not that bad to go back with Marv.
I think sitting next to Marv is pretty good.
Yeah, it sounded all right to me. Marv very graciously, I thought, told Mike that if he had an early exit from the playoffs, he could hang around with him and get coffee and stuff for the rest of the way. Kempton, as the shot clock expires, nails it from 15. Kempton has 6. Cavaliers down only 4 points.
Weak side, pinch post again, flash from the initial strong side, time and time again.
And Kukoc with another assist, 9 of them.
Top passers always watch the defense. As soon as they turn their head, they know their guys have got a break. Mismatch here, Brandon isolated.
Got by Kukoc, and then Grant swatted it away. 2-on-2 break. Kukoc, Armstrong got it.
And Horace Grant pushed his way up the court. I just can't believe that somebody would voluntarily leave doing something like this. Terrell Brandon down the lane, and Horace Grant taps it right out. Keeps it in play. The swarming Bulls to the hoop. Finishing nicely. Everybody handling it.
Hey, there's that cool recliner. Come on, ski jumper. Oh, the recliner, come on. Hey, how about both?
Miller Lite presents Recliner Ski Jump.
No way.
Boy, Johnson's ready. He's been training for this for years, Bob. Watch this layback. Brought to you by Miller Lite. If you can combine great taste with less filling, you can combine anything. He's got the record and the light. Let's share.
What a beer.
Great taste, less filling. Can your beer do this?
Want more cheesesteaks for your cheesy need? Some Gringos cheese sums, please. Once you pop, you just can't stop the fun. The cheesy taste is so yum.
Now more cheesy flavor, the kind of cheese you're gonna savor.
So grab yourself some cheesiness, not a bunch of pieces and greasiness. So put a can in your hand and check it out. The cheesy taste will knock you out.
Gringos cheesy flavor, the kind of cheese you're gonna savor.
Once you pop, you can't stop.
Just because it's the 90s doesn't mean you have to give up all earthly pleasures. Seriously, take the Oldsmobile 88 LSS luxury sedan. I meant that figuratively speaking. From exterior design to interior appointments, the LSS was carefully thought out to make you feel very good about yourself. Well, maybe a little at first, but you'll get over it. It's your money.
So, did you hear about the big AT&T deal? Well, if you spend $25 a month on AT&T long distance, you can get AT&T True USA savings. 20% off your calls to anyone, anywhere in the USA. And if that wasn't big enough, AT&T True Rewards, with points good for free frequent flyer miles and free AT&T minutes. You won't get this big deal from MCI or Sprint, but to get it, you gotta call AT&T.
Your true voice.
Bob Costas back in New York on the Prudential Halftime Report. We'll bring you highlights from the Knicks' 90-81 win over the New Jersey Nets. New York now leads that series 2-0. We'll also check in on the Houston-Portland series, which resumes tonight with the Rockets leading 1-0. And we'll profile Golden State rookie Chris Webber. His Warriors take on Phoenix in Game 3 of our NBC triple header later. Right now, back to Chicago as we rejoin Tom Hammond and Bill Walton. Tom?
Tony Kukoc passing through the man. He keeps the ball down low. That keeps the arms of the defense down. He's able to zip the ball right over the top to the slashing B.J. Armstrong, who quickly delivers.
And Tony Kukoc, a major factor, playing 14 minutes and recording a career-high 10 assists. In fact, Chicago has 18 baskets and 14 assists in the first half.
Shot clock
The 4. Hill muscled it through, and Williams commits the foul.
It certainly wasn't pretty, but the result was perfect. The penetration, lots of guys handling it, swings from one side to the other, and Hill finishes up a little stutter step with the pound dribble.
And another big redhead, Luke Longley, into the game as Scott Williams becomes the second Bull in foul trouble. He joins Pippen with 3.
Foul trouble will be a much bigger problem for Cleveland. They're not in it. Sometimes when you're so overconfident, you get a little careless out there. You don't prepare yourself. The type of fouls that Pippen and Williams have had tonight, really a lack of preparation.
Do you sense Chicago being a little flat?
I sense that Chicago feels they can just turn it on and get it done at the hoop at any time.
Grant rolled 3 times and off. Wilkins for the Cavaliers. Kempton and Hill have scored Cleveland's last 10 points. Hill sets a screen for Wilkins. Gerald Wilkins.
The guy who's defending the screen has got to step up there. Cavs battle back to within 3. The crowd finally getting into it here.
Gerald Wilkins has 16 points.
I would double team him as often as you double team Mark Price.
Let Price go at this point. Longley. Armstrong. Kicks high into the arms of Gerald Wilkins.
Every player for the Bulls who handled it at that time, little peck dribble, allows the defense to be a little closer.
Cavs down only 3 as Wilkins backs in against Myers.
And where's the double team?
Here it comes from Kukoc. He was late. Price made a good catch over Armstrong. Couldn't hit the bucket. Got his own. And a foul. Going to be a loose ball foul call. Luke Longley with 3.
Away from the ball, on the rebound, Longley battling for position. He got as much size as Longley has over Kempton. At least 4 or 5 inches, probably 20, 30 pounds. You don't need to have to foul there. Just use your hips a little bit.
No, isn't Longley one of your proteges?
Only when he plays well, Tom.
See, that's the way it works. Foul trouble for the Chicago Bulls. Longley has 3, and he'll go out of the game as Cartwright makes his first appearance. So Pippen, Williams, and Longley with 3 each. The only man in foul trouble for the Cavaliers, Rod Higgins, with 3. And Bill Cartwright, the 15-year veteran, is in for Chicago. Played only 6 minutes in game 1. Cartwright collects 50s memorabilia. The problem is, he's old enough to have witnessed it in person.
I have worked with Luke Longley a lot, and this is a tremendous opportunity for him to come over from Minnesota. If he can't get it done here, then you really have to question whether he can get it done, because everything is in place for Luke Longley.
And you played against Bill Cartwright, who misses his first shot, but got his own rebound, and then Price picks his pocket. Price, bad pass right at the feet of Hill, but Chris Mills saves it.
Jumping in the air to pass. Normally, top players like Price, they stay on the ground the entire time except when they're shooting.
Mills behind the back, almost lost it. Shot clock at 3. Bad one by Mills. And Myers with an open pass to the hoop. Chris Mills just threw one up, and it hurt the Cavs that time.
It's the defense of Horace Grant, though, that forces the bad shot. Look, 3 guys there on Price. Anything to get him to give up the ball.
And he did. But Wilkins in the corner hits a 3. No, they say a 2, foot on the line. Fratello screaming for a 3, and they say a foot on the stripe. Still 18 first half points for Gerald Wilkins.
Nice pass.
Grant fouled by Kempton, and there's Kukoc involved in the play again with a good entry pass.
Wilkins' 3-point attempt and conversion. Looks like that foot is right on the line. Mike Fratello in the back. They all want 3. Can't talk these referees into anything, though.
I'm still waiting for the first one to change his mind when the coach lobbies. Horace Grant, that's his 9th point to go with 5 rebounds and 2 block shots. And Grant has made his feelings known about leaving the Bulls after this season. He will be an unrestricted free agent.
I think that would be a big mistake. He's on a championship situation here. Everything perfectly in place. Money doesn't buy you happiness. There is nothing better than being on a championship team.
Phil Jackson had a funny line about Horace Grant. We asked him about saying he wanted to play for Orlando next season. Price got the roll and will shoot a free throw. And just to finish the story, Jackson said, well, wherever Horace is playing is where he wants to go next.
There were a few exceptions, I think, to that.
He said he hasn't wanted to play in Dallas yet, but just about every place else he's mentioned. Mark Price, one of the best free throw shooters year in, year out in the NBA, and 5th in the free throw standings this season, will toe the line for a 3-point play and connects.
That last shot, though, by Price, that's the type of play he's very capable of making. He's got to be willing to take those difficult types of shots today because he's not going to get any easy ones.
Game tied for the first time since 7-all, and we have less than a minute and a half to play in the first half from Chicago Stadium.
Cleveland's defense upping its intensity.
Myers pulls up and scores. Pete Myers.
Cleveland will have a much better chance of winning this game if they can continue to force Chicago to take shots like that. It went down, but shots off the dribble generally don't win ball games unless you're Michael Jordan.
Final minute of the first half. Price baseline. Reverse, no good. Grant clears it. Cleveland gets back very well on defense as Armstrong brings it into front court.
Price was slow getting back. They didn't take advantage. A lot of excessive dribbling by Chicago at this point.
Armstrong hammered. Will step to the line. Just over 29 seconds left in the second quarter.
But again, the tempo has shifted from the early Chicago style with ball movement. Kukoc getting all those assists, very little dribbling. Now Cleveland forcing Chicago into making it happen off the dribble.
Excellent free throw shooting, and the Cavaliers have gotten 15 free throws to 10 for Chicago. That's number 11. It rims out for Armstrong. English for the Bulls will give Cartwright a breather as Phil Jackson goes to a small lineup.
Trying to get defenders on the floor as Cleveland will undoubtedly hold for one last shot.
And a 20-second timeout called by the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cleveland in this situation, they'll try to get Price or Brandon on the run. Spot up Wilkins, who's been red hot for jumpers. Have the big guys out there. What Chicago, I think, should try to do is try to trap early, try to get Cleveland, get the ball out of Price's hands, guard everybody except for Hill and Kempton, make them handle it.
Well, they have held Mark Price to only 5 points, which both sides agreed was a key in the game. The problem from the Chicago standpoint is that Gerald Wilkins has more than compensated.
The real test of a star player like a Mark Price, like a Magic Johnson, is the ability to make everybody else the stars. You can make Gerald Wilkins get 20 points, 30 points, 40 points. You've done your job, even if you can't get it yourself.
Price gets it back quickly from Kempton. Dangerous pass. He got away with it. The strategy continues to pressure Mark Price at all times.
He's really getting caught in the air a lot.
Shot clock on the left, game clock on the right. Wilkins tried to whip it inside to Kempton, ill-advised, and picked off by Myers. Kukoc runs the floor for the easy one. A disastrous turn of events for the Cavaliers, who were hoping to get the final shot.
If Kukoc can continue to play like this throughout the playoffs, watch out for the Chicago Bulls.
Well, at one point of the first half, the Chicago Bills built an 11-point lead. Cleveland came back, but Tony Kukoc, already a career-high assist, leading the Chicago attack, and they're up by 5. Now stay tuned for the Prudential Halftime Report, coming up right after these messages.
For the Cavs, Bobby Phills, he has a scratched right cornea. This injury happened in the first quarter when he got tangled up with the Bulls. As you look at his point totals there, they've been administering fluid in his eye. They have been icing it as well, but they still tell me it's very watery, but he will continue to play in the second half. It's like the Cavs have been battling injuries all year, and Phills has been having a tough time with that right eye. Let's send it back to Tom Hammond.
Okay, Dan, thank you very much. And Phil's looks to be shedding the warm-up. We'll see if he will come out to start the second half for Cleveland. It looks like he will, indeed. And meanwhile, a specter of trouble for the Chicago Bulls is their foul trouble. 3 key players, Scottie Pippen, Scott Williams, and Luke Longley, with 3 personal fouls each. They scored a combined 58 points in Game 1.
Cleveland should exploit that by driving right at those guys. Longley and Pippen will be in the starting lineup for the second half. Higgins has 3 in his own right. Sometimes you can get too carried away with trying to pick up fouls on the other team. You got to come out and play your game. Mark Price, 6 shots, only 2 of them made. 5 points, a couple of assists. Chicago doing an outstanding job of neutralizing him.
Price will start the second half along with Higgins, Wilkins, Phills, and Hill, the original starting 5, and the original starting quintet intact for the Bulls. Pippen, Armstrong, Myers, Grant, and Longley.
Cleveland comes out with outstanding pressure defense, finishing where they left off in the first half. Weak side pinch post.
Wilkins trying to stop Pippen. Can't do it.
Scottie Pippen turns back to that right side jump shot as well as anybody in basketball. To me, that's the toughest shot in basketball, for a right-handed guy to come all the way back around.
Had a little bump to create some space and made that difficult turn and scored the first hoop for the second half. Wilkins, though, is still hot for Cleveland. That's his 3rd tray. 3 times 3, 21 points for Wilkins.
That's the way he started the game. Just the exact opposite corner. Left corner, 3.
Armstrong against Price. Spins but can't get away. Forced the shot and still hit it.
Cleveland can live with that jump shot by Armstrong. Those aren't going to go down. If they can force Chicago to dribble 5, 6, 7 times before they shoot a jumper going to their left, they'll be fine.
Price got open for the shot and he hit. So each team connecting on its first 2 field goal attempts of the half, and it's a 4-point game.
Hot shooting continues. Chicago failing, though, to step up on the picks. That time freeing up Mark Price.
Longley turning up and under, no good.
Just overpowering Longley. He's got to be able to get that ball to go down. That's just a layup.
Phil's got a screen from Hill on the pick and roll. Got it back to Tyrone. Higgins wide open for 3.
That's Higgins' game. The spot up 3 after the penetration.
Bulls lead only cut to 1 now. Just a 1-point game.
Cleveland, they sense they can win this game.
Myers with a nice touch pass to Longley, who reverses it through.
The difference in results for Chicago when they pass the ball as opposed to pound it for one-on-one play.
Price off the screen, falls away over Longley and won't go. Pippen takes it the other way.
Fine defense, Longley.
Scottie in traffic. Grant with a tap-in. Horace Grant.
Fratello wanting the officials to call a violation for grabbing the rim. He might have.
Grant collects Sam Cooke records, and that one would be You Send Me. Phil's bricked that one. Longley has it for the Bulls.
Chicago not getting the quick outlets from Longley that they would normally get from Cartwright that they always get from Grant.
Longley powers his way inside and is fouled.
Dipping down the lane. Beautifully slides right by the defenders. Just get it up there. You always know that guys like Horace Grant are going to be crashing, trailing. The worst thing to do is get caught in the air and think about passing or think about getting your shot blocked.
Tyrone Hill committed his second foul. Bulls will put it in play, leading 63-58. Cleveland tied it, but Chicago has recovered to reclaim the lead. Their biggest 11 in the first half.
I don't think Scottie Pippen had quite the confidence in the foot speed of Luke Longley there.
Longley bangs, double team, got rid of it, and Myers is fouled. That'd be 3 on Hill if it is indeed on him. And they call it on Phils instead, and it's the 3rd on Phils.
Both starting forwards for Cleveland inching up. They don't really have a bench from this point because their bench is now their starters.
There is the walking wounded of the Cavaliers. Nance and Williams.
Larry Nance ineligible for the playoffs, not even on the roster.
And Williams is going to be the starting center for the Cavaliers, normally a forward, and Brad Daugherty, the center of the Cavs, out, although he is on the roster and could possibly play if the Cavs advance to the second round. There's a traveling call, out of control. Phils called for steps.
But in reality, Brad Daugherty is not even working out to play basketball, and you're not going to step as Phils gets in the lane looking to pass. That's why you don't jump in the air to pass the ball. You jump to shoot.
Came down with the ball and called for traveling. 6-zip run by the Bulls after.
But Cleveland has weathered these throughout the first 2 games in this series. The tenacity of Price and Fratello.
Armstrong made a beautiful split of defenders, then couldn't finish. Price off a screen. Pick and roll. Hill couldn't get it. Got his own. Missed again. Phils. Finally, Longley clears it for Chicago. Cleveland had 3 chances. Myers, Grant can't hit. Foul on Cleveland.
Horace Grant.
Take your time, G. Take your time, G.
Had his head basically taken off there.
By Rod Higgins, who has whistled for his 4th foul. We'll be back.
The Warriors face the Suns. The NBA playoffs continue next on NBC.
Well, as I was saying, I'll bring the cold drafts, and you just bring those beautiful eyes of yours.
Yeah. Could you hold on?
When cold filtered isn't cool enough.
Hi, it's your shot.
Ice draft.
I've got to go.
Susan?
It's ice brewed below freezing, then cold filtered. For a smoother, better draft, taste the future. Ice draft. Only from Budweiser.
Yeah, didn't you see Chris dunk on Charles Barkley? Nah, you didn't see that. I went something like this.
Put the cape on, though, because I was like Superman.
Oh, yeah, you were. Let me put that on. You can be Barkley, see.
Okay, where?
Catch it like this, around the back.
Fresh yourself. I'm Barkley coming.
So he's Barkley trying to block it. Oh,
wait, he's too high. He's too high.
And then what did Barkley say?
He said, I don't believe in role models, but you mine, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Why own the road when you can own the whole planet? The Nissan Pathfinder.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by new Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. Taste the future of draft beer. By the people at Nike, who encourage you to just do it. And by Nissan. It's time to expect more from a car.
Tom Hammond, Bill Walton, Dan Hicks in the Windy City where Horace Grant was just leveled.
The pacing, the spacing, the timing on the break. Horace Grant hammered to the head. Rod Higgins certainly not a dirty player. Comes right over, tries for the ball, but the swipe, the elbow to the head there, Horace Grant. Ouch.
You don't think he mistook the bald head of Horace for the ball, did you?
Not in the least. Now, Rod Higgins, a long-time NBA performer, quality guy. Good attempt at the ball there.
And Horace apparently is okay as he steps back out on the court, ready to toe the free throw strike. Well, Horace will have some bargaining power if he does market his services. His best season scoring and rebounding.
A good time to have your best season statistically when your contract runs out.
He's had a career-high points and rebounds in individual games this season, too. 31 against Boston points and 23 boards against the Lakers.
With all the speculation about where Horace Grant is going to be next year, don't forget that Chicago definitely wants to re-sign him. They will make every attempt to do so.
Chicago may be the new home for the Chief next season, Robert Parrish. Grant misses the first.
I would anticipate the Chief playing for a contending team next year. But this is certainly one of the possibilities.
Horace Grant now 13 points and 7 boards, 66-58 Bulls. Price still doggedly defended by Armstrong.
So quick, both of those guys, Armstrong.
Price, off-balance shot. Mark Price, that's his 9th point, equaling his Game 1 performance, and it was a tough 2.
Price and Scottie Pippen are at the top of the league in terms of hitting that running shot, the perfect release, much the way Paul Westphal used to as the player for Boston and Phoenix.
Grant off the high post, gave it to Myers, and Tyrone Hill is called for the foul. 3rd on Hill.
Mark Price really forced into taking difficult shots like this. Finally, Horace Grant is up there. Luke Longley has not been stepping up, but Mark Price, a running 18-footer going to his left, swish.
9 points all of Game 1 as he kicks this ball out of bounds. Mark Price. Surprising his strength, too. He was able to hold off Grant with his off arm that time and then get the shot away.
The top players learn to do that. You use that off arm as a weapon to initiate the contact. All the best players offensively push the most with that off arm.
Kempton finds one in his lap for the steal. Wilkins leads the break. Back to Price. Mills fumbled the pass and then missed the shot. Hill, offensive board, blocked by Grant. Longley takes it down for the Bulls. Longley got it from Myers and slammed it home.
The defense sets it all up. The block shot, the fast break, the drive out by Pippen, the ball movement, slam dunk.
Longley has 5 Bull points. Price triple team to Hill.
Too much hesitation.
And Wilkins is out at the 3-point arc all by himself, calling for the ball. They can't get it to him. Jump ball is called.
Luke Longley's going to get a second effort block here on the shot attempt by Hill. And then right away at the other end of the court, his teammates reward him with the defense by giving him an easy setup.
That was the way you instructed Longley. Now see, and Longley ties up Kempton so that two 7-foot red-headed centers will jump it up. Do you just take on clients that are red-headed and centers?
I teach them all. And I teach them all the same way because there's no difference by position, by size. It's a game of skill out here, and every player has to have all the skills. That's what made Michael Jordan the best player. He was the best at everything.
You tutored Shaquille O'Neal early in his career as well, didn't you?
As well as Rick Smits, who are going head-to-head tomorrow night in Indianapolis.
Pippen can't hit the outside shot. 5:50 left, 3rd quarter. There's a 3, Mark Price. Price now with 12 points. Lead cut to 5.
Those are always open because the Chicago front court is not stepping up on the screens.
Grant with an air ball into the hand of Chris Mills.
Cleveland just hanging right in there. They hit a hot streak here.
They let Kempton have the shot. He can't hit it. Grant with a rebound. He has 8.
Imagine how good this Cleveland team would be with Doherty, Nance, and Williams all playing at full strength.
Illegal defense called on the Cavaliers. That'll mean a technical foul. It's the second illegal defense call against Fratello's team.
Steve Kerr shoots the second.
Steve Kerr hits the free throw.
Cleveland needs to up their offense at this point. They're down by 5 at the half, down by 6 right now. Price has found his range. Wilkins has remained hot. Kempton, Mills, well, the guys have got to get it done.
Kempton stripped it away from Longley, but Longley got it back and banked it through. That was a tug of war that Longley won.
Using his size and strength, the versatility of all his shots. Luke Longley not a factor up in Minnesota, as was Felton Spencer. Now they're playing key roles on playoff teams, Utah and Chicago here.
Again, they concede the shot to Kempton, and this time he connects. English penetrates, collides with Tim Kempton, and an offensive foul on JoJo English of the Bulls.
Phil Jackson visibly upset. The question comes to mind, though, is why so early, why so deep into the bench with JoJo English when the game is still in doubt?
4:22 left in the third quarter. Bulls up 6.
And no Tony Kukoc in the second half, who was the star in the first half.
Mills fumbled the pass out of bounds, but off the leg of Pippen. And Cleveland gets a break. Got to make that catch.
So often when you're playing against a top defensive team, you start looking for the rotation all the way. First things first, though.
Wilkins, high arching shot comes up short. Pippen in a hurry. Now they'll back it out and set it up on the half court.
They've been doing a good job of keeping Pippen under control. Nice pass.
English missed, but Grant is there for the offensive board and draws the foul.
Guys like Horace Grant are so valuable. Every offensive play, he's in there pounding that glass. Doesn't complain too much, but look at the pass, watching the defender again, then just passing right over his shoulder. And Chicago, again, just over the top. If you're not going to make it, at least get it up there, because you know Horace will be right there to finish.
It takes a special mentality to be a banger, an offensive rebounder, a consistent rebounder on both ends of the court, doesn't it?
You got to want to mix it up. You got to think, hey, this is fun. It's not all about being pretty. It's about enjoying the contact, enjoying the extra effort of getting the little things done.
Grant, as you see, a career low free throw percentage this season and 3 of 5 today, shooting for his 14th point.
But when he concentrates, he and Pippen both, they're the two biggest culprits for the Bulls not being solid free throw shooters.
Price, quick stop, missed the shot. Longley with a rebound. Price almost burned rubber. He stopped so quickly that time, but couldn't convert the shot.
Longley having a very solid game.
Pippen triple team. Lost it out of bounds. Cleveland ball.
Pippen that time wanted to pass the ball to Longley, but he realized he was in the lane so long that if he did pass it, they would have called 3 seconds. And now here's Price in the open court.
Pulls up for 3. Rimmed out to Kerr. English working against Price. And Mark hits him on the arm. Mark Price with his second personal.
Good job by English that time. You know, in a situation like that, when you get a Mark Price on you, that he's not going to go up in the air and try to block your jumper. He's got to strip it. So you lead a little bit extra with that forearm, with the shoulder, with the elbow to initiate the contact, that all he can get is the ball or your arm down low.
English hits the first. Cleveland, you'll remember, tied it here in the third quarter before Chicago spurted back away, and Terrell Brandon re-enters the lineup, giving Mark Price a rest as Fratello continues to shuffle his lineup. Mike Fratello,
with very few cards.
The czar of the telestrator now, is the king of casts with all those injuries over there. And it's remarkable that they have stayed within striking distance.
They're right there. If they can get a consistent offensive flow, Chicago is not clicking on all cylinders right now. Scott Williams, Tony Kukoc, two solid performers, hadn't even been in the lineup here in the second half.
Lead back to 9 for Chicago. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Wilkins launches a three and bottoms.
I think with Gerald Wilkins, when he's in this type of zone, you got to make him put it on the floor or going to his left. Don't let him sit there and look, and then just pull the trigger.
His 24 points include 4 trays. Longley stripped by Kempton, and then English fouls Brandon. And the Bulls will take a timeout. Clock shows 2:41 left in the third, with the Bulls up 74-68.
After midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
After midnight, we're gonna turn
the cold one. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
We're gonna call talking.
So get out of the old and get into the cold.
I have a job, a family, a million things to do. Who has time to think about their car? That's why I take my car to Jiffy Lube for top quality products like Pennzoil. They're professional. They do a great job, and I like Pennzoil. Why would I go anywhere else?
Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change for busy people.
Remember to bring your car to Jiffy Lube every 3,000 miles.
The Nissan Altima has more front headroom than a Mercedes E320. It also has more rear headroom, more rear leg room, and more overall room. Yet it's priced $20,000 less, which means with this luxury sedan, you'll be able to add a room. The Nissan Altima. It's time to expect more from a car.
Well, I'm all packed. If you know where my next coaching job will be, you could win $10,000 and a trip to the Super Bowl. Call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve a room at any Econo Lodge or Roadway Inn. Pick up this entry form at the hotel and guess my new team. If you're right, you're eligible to win. Hey, I'd love to send you to the Super Bowl. So enter now. Unless you think you can get there without me.
To reserve a room at any Econo Lodge or Roadway Inn, call 1-800-4CHOICE.
NBC presents Robert De Niro, Nick Nolte, Jessica Lange, and Juliette Lewis in one of the most sensational suspense movies ever made, Cape Fear. NBC tonight.
Chicago Stadium, built in the Depression year of 1929, and the Grand Old Lady now into her final chorus. The Blackhawks have finished their run at Chicago Stadium, and the Bulls, when they finish their playoffs, will be done. They'll both move right across the street to the new United Center. Meanwhile, inside the venerable Chicago Stadium, the 373rd consecutive sellout.
I'm all for the amenities of the 20th century in the new arenas, but I like the old ones where you can feel the sweat and the blood and the pain of the years of guys toiling here. Guys like Bobby Hull, the old Bulls, Jerry Sloan. I also like it when the fans come in their tennis shoes. They're ready to play themselves, and they don't have the cocktail waitresses bringing you food at your chair all the time.
Kind of get the feeling, though, that at any minute they'll look to the tunnel to see if number 23 is going to make an appearance on the court. It would be a remarkable story if the Bulls could indeed make it back to the finals, perhaps win their 4th straight championship. And I know you think Phil Jackson deserves heavy consideration as Coach of the Year.
There's been a lot of top jobs done, but I think what Chicago has done with Phil Jackson and with the rest of this team, one of the most remarkable stories in the history of the NBA.
Mills missed twice. Wilkins doesn't miss on the finish. 3rd time is the charm for the Cavaliers.
And I think that Chicago can win the championship.
And they're facing a feisty Cavalier team here, undermanned, but undaunted. And with 1:46 left in the 3rd, they have the ball down only 4.
As well as Kukoc played in the first half, he must have been wondering, what do I got to do to get back in this game? And then the first play he gets in and a mental error like that.
Illegal defense called against the Chicago Bulls.
A second mental error there, Kukoc.
Well, Kukoc in the first half looked like the newest threat to John Stockton's assist leadership with a career-high 10. And spinning his wheels to start his stint in the second half. Brandon hits the technical free throw on the illegal defense call. First free throw of the quarter for Cleveland, while Chicago has hit 7 of 9 this period.
The pace is what Cleveland wants, though. You look at the Bulls, Pippen, he's not even got a sweat goal. But when he's charging up and down that court, that's when Cleveland's in trouble.
Brandon fumbled the pass, and Kukoc touched it last. Cleveland again lucky that they got away with a near turnover. Mills will inbound it. Kempton. Back rim. Longley tapped it to Williams.
Chicago strategy continues to work. Let Tim Kempton beat you. Let Bobby Phills, let Chris Mills beat you.
Scott Williams back in the game as English off the pass from Williams hits a 16-footer.
English has played very well today. Again, everything though, when Chicago plays well, it's off the pass.
English has 9 points off the Bulls bench. You said that the Cavaliers ought to drive at the players in foul trouble. They haven't done that as Mills hits from the outside, and the Bulls in foul trouble, namely Pippen and Williams and Longley, have not seen their 3 from the first half mount any higher.
And Scottie Pippen, he's probably not going to pick up any careless fouls against a Chris Mills or a Bobby Phills unless he just gets careless.
Pippen, beautiful jump hook in the face of the defense, his 14th point.
Pippen is like a great musician. Not a guy who's just as good and just plays the notes that are on the score, but someone who sees the music. And the whole thing there just comes flowing out of his game.
And it's a symphony when he's at the top of his game, as he was Friday night. Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Mills off balance shot.
Again, Chicago can live with that.
English will try to get one away. Blocked as the quarter comes to an end. Well, the Cavaliers came from behind to tie it before the Bulls reasserted command. And as the 3rd quarter comes to an end, Chicago holds a 78-75 lead. We'll be back to Chicago Stadium after these messages from your local station.
It has an advanced independent suspension, but it's not a Porsche. It boasts luxurious amenities, but it's not a Mercedes. It's cloaked in a sleek body, but it's not a Lexus. It is the all-new Nissan 240SX, the affordable luxury coupe.
Hey, you get a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning. You want a medicine that acts tough. Boom! Tough Actin Tinactin. Clinically proven Tinactin cures even tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get Tough Actin Tinactin.
Introducing the new Goodyear Eagle AquaTread for performance sedans. The wet traction of an AquaTread, the performance of an Eagle. 2 aqua channels maximize acceleration, cornering, and braking traction. The new Eagle AquaTread, only from Goodyear.
Back outside to Price, the 3 in the air. Good!
Price straight up for three.
I'm Gordon Gunn, co-owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. 20 years ago, I went blind from a disease called RP, retinitis pigmentosa. So I've never had a chance to see Mark Price play in the NBA.
But someday, with your help, others who have RP will be able to see me play.
You were missing your outside shot last night, Mark.
I didn't think you were listening.
Mermaids discovered on Sequest, NBC Tonight.
From this day on, everyone who travels in this world will have a new way to communicate. Introducing World Phone from MCI. It means the end of complications, currency problems, and outrageous hotel surcharges. It means an operator who speaks your language to connect you with anyone virtually anywhere. It means low rates from overseas. And it means simplicity. All you need to turn any phone in the world into a World Phone is your MCI card. World Phone from MCI. Let it take you around the world.
There's Grandpa.
Oh, I can still feel his little arms reaching up, holding on. Faster, Daddy, faster. Things went too fast. Look at him. Oh, Frankie, come back. I need you to hold on to Lee.
Most nursing homes provide quality care, but some are downright abusive. Public Defender Marty Griffin releases undercover video evidence of what's happening to some local nursing home residents.
Don't leave me here.
A Public Defender investigation Monday night at 10 on Channel 5.
What did the Cowboy players think of Switzerland? That story tonight on Sports Extra.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Chicago has led virtually the entire game, but it is still a precarious lead as we start the fourth quarter. The Bulls up 3, 78-75.
After the slow start, you see that Cleveland has been slowly whittling away that lead. It was 5 at the half. Now it's down to 3. Cleveland playing with heart and tenacity.
It's interesting that Chicago's out shooting Cleveland 55% to 48%, out rebounding them 28 to 22. They have one fewer turnover. They have out fast break them 15 points to 2, and yet they're only up by 3 points. Cavs are doing it with mirrors, but they're doing it.
It's the scoreboard that counts.
Mills fumbling around, still has control of the dribble, barely. Fumbled it one final time, and he was lucky that a Bull hit it as it went out of bounds. The rookie has not had a sterling game.
That could not have been the strategy. To have Chris Mills take 20 dribbles.
That'll send Fratello back to the telestrator. Kempton,
shot clock,
5 to shoot. Up and under, missed everything. That was one of the worst possessions of the game. The Cavaliers really sputtered that time.
Especially coming out of the quarter break.
Making the coach look bad. Must have been some daydreaming over there in that huddle.
The weak side post is stepping out too far for Chicago. You got to get it right at the open.
Pippen open for the 3. Bryant put back. He's always there.
You can't expect to win if you give up wide open shots on one side and offensive rebounds on the same play from the weak side.
Grant 16 points, 10 boards, half of them with the offensive variety.
Scottie Pippen, a 3-time All-League defensive player.
Mills trying to put it on the floor again, and it comes to no good end except he's saved by a foul. He's determined to put it on the floor.
How far as Tony Kukoc is out on the floor, but that wide open jumper and a weak side offensive rebound, you got to deny something. You can't just let him do both. When you're good though, as Scottie Pippen is, you think you can do everything out there, and that ball is there, and you just try to get it so much. Sometimes you get a little over aggressive.
Chris Mills, the Pac-10 Player of the Year in his final season at Arizona, hits 1 of 2. As I said, he seems determined to put the ball on the floor, and that can't be what Mike Fratello wants.
Tony Kukoc is really allowing the defense to pressure him to come out on the floor too far.
Armstrong quickly off a screen. Bingo!
Double screen, big guys down low. Kukoc, Scott Williams, shooters in perfect rhythm.
Armstrong has hit 4 of 6. He has 11 points. Good fake by Mills. Second one also. They missed the shot. Grant lost it out of bounds. It'll belong to Cleveland.
It's under control. Middleton just made the mistake.
And Middleton pointed the wrong way. Now he changes the call and awards it to Chicago.
Couldn't ask for a better threesome of referees in this game. Middleton, Neese, and O'Donnell.
Pippen brings it up against Wilkins.
Double down, single double here.
Again, Armstrong off the screen. Couldn't get the shot away that time.
Like going right back to the guy who just hit the last jumper.
Inside to Scott Williams. Turns on the double team. Slapped right back to him. That was Grant that kept it alive. Kukoc deflected by Kempton out of bounds to the Bulls. And we'll take a break with 9:51 left in game 2. And the Bulls up 6.
NBA Inside Stuff, Saturdays on NBC.
Don't you wish you could be this comfortable with all your decisions? Acura. Some things are worth the price.
Getting through college can be a pretty tough climb. To succeed, you need money and you need the right abilities. You can find them both in the Army. If you qualify, you could earn up to $30,000 with the Montgomery GI Bill, plus the Army College Fund. And you could develop the confidence, judgment, and self-discipline it takes to make it to the top, in college and beyond.
They created a computerized spreadsheet a decade ago. At 1, 2, 3, thousands of companies became more efficient. Today, they're giving corporations with employees in multiple locations the power to work together more effectively. Helping companies run more profitably has made Lotus a billion-dollar corporation in just 10 years. Where do you find companies so driven by the bottom line? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
There's only one beer with pure refreshment written all over it. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft and MGD Light. Why so many people are getting out of the old and into the cold.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today's Miller Moment takes us back to March 28, 1990. The Bulls in Cleveland as Michael Jordan went 23 for 37 from the floor, 21 of 23 from the foul line, a regular season career high 69 points as the Bulls won 117-113. And there is the legacy of his airness, 3 championship banners.
What makes that moment so special, though, is the fact that Jordan does that on the road against his team's arch rival in a very close game.
And there is the heir to Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, hoping to bring another championship banner to Chicago Stadium. In recognition of our Miller Moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund.
Fratello argued correctly for no reset of the shot clock. Bulls have to hurry.
Armstrong does. And Williams puts it home.
That happens so often. The defender is sitting there watching, waiting for the ball to hit the rim. And then somebody slides in and catches the short air ball and just lays it in.
Bulls lead 84-76. Just less than 9.5 remaining.
Price has really been out a long time.
Hill, Pippen came over to pick him up defensively, but Tyrone Hill scored his 9th point. You're right, Mark Price still on the Cleveland bench. Been out over 7 minutes. Pippen got open. Good position. Scott Williams on the offensive board. He's sent flying out of bounds. Let's see if it's a Cleveland foul. It is a pushing foul on the Cavaliers. It's on Brandon first.
Veteran teams know when their guys are going to shoot the ball. Anticipate, get to the glass early. Look at the tremendous position that time by Williams. He mistimes his jump a little bit. The nudge in the back didn't help.
Gerald Wilkins has gone out of the game now. Phils is back, and the Cavaliers don't have much firepower on the floor at the moment. Moving screen called on Horace Grant of the Bulls. That'll turn it over to Cleveland. Legal pick out of bounds is the call. Grant apparently was striding the baseline.
Jackson says, what is that?
What's that call again?
These guys fight like crazy to get into the game, and then immediately they try to get out of bounds. It all happens between the lines here.
How's Cleveland going to score now with this lineup?
Terrell Brandon going one-on-one. Possibly some offensive glass attempts by Hill. Higgins, Phil starting up.
Higgins for three. Front rim. Williams clears.
Scott Williams taking over where Luke Longley left off, dominating the defensive glass.
He has 8 rebounds in the game.
But they're not really able to fast break out of that.
Pippen, pull up. And Scotty now with 16.
A textbook game developed under great coaches, under the great leadership of a veteran star player, the ex-MVP.
Hills against Armstrong. Finds Hill. Fumbled the ball as he drove to the basket and is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. Scott Williams, that's number 4 on Williams. But remember, he picked up 3 of those fouls in the first half, so he's done a good job staying out of foul trouble since. 8:06 left in the fourth.
You look at the coaching staff of Chicago, though, the job they've done in developing players like Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley resurrecting his career, Bill Wennington, a career just getting started.
John Bach, Jim Clemens, Tex Winter over there on the Chicago sideline. As Tyrone Hill hits 1 of 2. Tyrone has 10 points in the game. Full court pressure from Cleveland. And the Bulls set it up.
I think the coaching staff's biggest challenge will be Tony Kukoc and getting him to be the type of player they think that he can become.
2 to shoot. And that's a shot clock violation.
24 seconds. A little bit of overpassing that time. When you get that deep in the lane, that late in the shot clock, everybody packed in, go ahead and throw it up there.
Terrell Brandon for the Cavaliers. They've taken care of the ball. They had 4 turnovers the first 4 minutes of the game, only 5 since. Some near ones, however. Hill forced his way inside, couldn't finish the play, and Williams takes it down for the Bulls. Kukoc had the open outside shot. Armstrong will take it. That's a 3. Armstrong hits the 3, and Cleveland takes a timeout. The lead's 10.
Okay, I confess. I want my hair to look great. I got better things to do than to mess around with it. So I use a special shampoo and conditioner that cleans and completely conditions without the hassle. Pert Plus. Net result, no matter what I've been doing, my hair does what I want it to. Why would I mess around with anything else?
Pert Plus. Great hair. No fuss.
When she gets close,
It's no time to get in a sweat.
The protection you need is Clear. New Clear Arid. The new antiperspirant's so clear, it's invisible.
Yeah, I trust Arid.
Get a little closer with new Clear Arid, solid and gel.
Most people have something they're willing to pay a premium for. For some, it's art. For some, it's entertainment. For others, it's travel. Acura. Some things are worth the price.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. By the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And by Acura. Some things are worth the price.
It's NBA playoff time, and we're not done yet. The third game of our tripleheader coming up next. Chris Webber and the Golden State Warriors, Charles Barkley in the Phoenix Suns in Game 2 of their series. The Warriors and the Suns coming up right after this Game 2 between Cleveland and Chicago.
Phil Jackson was in.
Been a long dry spell for the Cavaliers, over 2 minutes without a field goal. And Mike Fratello now gets Mark Price and Gerald Wilkins back into the game.
What took him so long?
Full court pressure. Wilkins had a 2-on-1 and is fouled. He had Hill camped under the basket with only one defender back.
Scott Williams, who was the victim of the wrath of Phil Jackson for lack of defensive rotation at the end of the third quarter, has responded beautifully. Got 4 rebounds, 4 of 6 Chicago rebounds in the fourth quarter.
The foul was called on Horace Grant of the Bulls, his 4th foul.
I don't agree with Horace Grant making that kind of a foul. He's got to stay in the ball game. This game is a long way from being over. You got to be a defender. You can't be a fouler in basketball. And Horace Grant is a tremendous defender.
Wilkins hits the 2 free throws. Gerald Wilkins is the game's leading scorer, now with a total of 28.
Nice pressure defense, forcing Chicago to come out.
Myers forced it. Long rebound to Mills, takes it on the fly. 3-on-2 Cavs if they want it. They'll pull it up. Kempton made a good catch.
Good BJ, just relentless. Will not let Mark Price have any openings.
Kempton works his way inside. Grant says, get it out of here. Kempton misses again. Hill falls down and lost it. Pippen, Armstrong, Myers, 2.
The physical play of the Bulls underneath the hoop. The strategy, make Kempton beat you. The presence and court sense of Scottie Pippen. The finishing of the rest of the guys. All on display here. Pippen just lets it go beautifully. Mark Price can do nothing except watch.
Pippen triggering that one with the blind pass over his head. And the Bulls have outscored the Cavaliers on the fast break 19-2 in the game. Scott Williams called for a personal and technical foul.
Is the continuing Chicago strategy of roughing up Mark Price, double teaming him as BJ adjusts his eyewear. Scott Williams got tangled up with Mark Price. Mark Price had to bump him back. Scott Williams a little excessive.
And Mark Price, an 89% free throw shooter, misses.
Price has got to be careful, though. He's already got one technical.
It'll be Armstrong on a hold out on the floor. Well, they'll say he was in the act of shooting and give Price 2 shots at the line.
It's so tough for a guy like Mark Price, who's got so much pride, is not going to come out here and whine and complain about not having his guys. Yet, he ends up looking like not that good a ball player because he doesn't have the supporting cast. In the NBA, it's often not how good you are, it's how good your teammates are.
And Price regains his free throw shooting form as Hot Rod Williams, Larry Nance, and Brad Daugherty look on. You have to empathize with this Cleveland team. When Michael Jordan retired, he had personally eliminated Cleveland from the playoffs about 3 straight years. They had to say, yes, now it's our chance. And what happens? The entire front line goes down with injuries on the eve of their first game against Chicago in the first round. Pippen tried to reverse it. Cavs are ready for it.
How is that not a foul?
Armstrong.
Scottie Pippen is irate. He's right in Mills' face.
Price penetrates, dishes to Hill, who is fouled.
The Bulls continue with the great ball movement. Little pump fake, step under.
DJ has hit 6 of 9 shots today, has scored 7 in this final quarter. Total is 16 in the game. Tyrone Hill finds the range on that free throw.
As Chicago is pulled out to what basically a 10-point lead here in the last 5 minutes of the game. Almost an exact duplicate of what happened in game 1.
Armstrong, only Wilkins is back. Pippen is fouled. Gerald Wilkins hammered him into the basket standard. But Pippen comes up, exchanges a slap with Wilkins, and all is okay.
These are guys who have played against each other a lot. They understand each other. They know that guys like Gerald Wilkins are not dirty players. But the trend in basketball right now is to take plays like this and escalate it into the needless and senseless violence of last night. No place for that in the game of basketball. Sometimes the other team is going to score points. You just got to come back and make your play and play better.
MVP is the chant from the crowd here as Scottie hits the second free throw. 18 in the game for Pippen, and the Bulls lead is 11, equaling their longest.
Tremendous pitch by Kempton that time.
Wilkins spotted for the 3, but fumbled the pass, couldn't get the shot away. Now he does. That's a tray. Pippen with the board. .725 in Cleveland with only 1 basket to show for it.
Poor balance by Chicago.
Mills trying to body Pippen is called for the personal.
The one thing that Cartwright really gave the Chicago Bulls was a complete understanding of the sense of how to play basketball. A lot of times the international players like a Luke Longley and a Tony Kukoc who don't have the playground experience just don't really have that sense of the game. It's tough to learn it without playing on the playground.
Kukoc from Croatia and Longley, the only Australian in the NBA. On the low post, Longley whips it to Pippen, but before that jam, a foul was called, or was it 3-second violation? Well, there's a call from the past.
Sometimes you think they have eliminated that rule from the book.
I didn't know it was still in there. Those pages were dusty when they leafed back to get that call.
Look at Armstrong, though, the whole time, right up in Price's face. He's saying, when is this guy going to get tired? When is he going to leave me alone?
Price just takes it on his own, and a blind pass to Mills, who hits the long-range deuce. Price made it happen.
That was about the only time that he's been open underneath the hoop that time, and he decided to go ahead and pass it anyway.
Pippen to Longley. One big giant step and a Cleveland foul.
Down the lane, eventually gets by Longley. You got to move your body and feet rather than reach with the arms. That's the type of action that will get Cleveland back in this game. They're also going to have to start making some defensive stops. too late in the game to just trade baskets.
Time running out on Fratello's Cavs. 4:01 left. We talked about this being the last run for Chicago Stadium as this series moves to Cleveland. The Coliseum in Richfield hosting perhaps its final game if the Cavaliers are eliminated. They'll be moving to their new arena downtown next to Jacobs Field, which has been a sensation in the Major League Baseball ranks, as have the Indians early in the season.
Hesitation by Mills. He just made one from right there a moment ago.
Price double clutched, came up empty. Mills got it again, and will shoot two.
The Bulls personal foul on Luke Longley is fourth.
So many players have a habit of taking their eyes off the ball as Luke Longley picks up his fourth foul. As so many Bulls are deep in foul trouble. When the ball is shot, you got to watch it the whole way. Don't turn your back to the ball and hope it comes down to you. You got to know where it's going and go get it.
Mills, the 22nd player taken in the '93 draft, shooting for his 9th point. He also has 8 rebounds, so he has done a decent job off the Cleveland bench, even though he has sometimes tried to go one-on-one on the dribble a little too much. Pippen just went right around him that time. Mills punched his ticket.
You got to know where the double team's coming from. Everybody has to talk to you. You know where the help is. You turn him that way. And then Mark Price, you can't take a charge on Scottie Pippen when he's on the move like that. He just floats right by you.
Pippen has 20. Hill made a good pass to Kempton, who draws the foul.
You see the defense is going to come up. Kempton is up there for the pick and roll. Force him over the pick, and then you got the double team out there high. Longley hasn't shown that he's as expert at running the pick and roll as, say, someone like Phil Laimbeer was.
Scottie Pippen has picked up his 4th foul. Remember, he had 3 in the first half and sat out a good deal of the first half. So he's done a good job of managing his fouls, staying out of foul trouble as he has played virtually the entire second half. 3:06 left in the game as Kempton hits the free throws, and the Bulls are up 99-90.
Cleveland has to make some stops.
Longley on the low post calling for it, but couldn't get the entry pass. Instead, they go out to Pippen. No way to stop that.
You can only play so long on emotion. Cleveland has done a tremendous job of hanging tough in there. Eventually, talent wins out. Perfect example right there, Scottie Pippen on the classic crossover move.
Kempton got the roll. Tim Kempton has 14 points.
And they've not played bad. Kempton, Mills, Rod Higgins. But you got to play great to win a ball game in this building.
Grant threads his way inside and got the pass from Longley. Price to Kempton, and it's rejected by Pippen.
Luke Longley in the low post, gets it, looks to the middle, the give and go.
Those big redheads can pass. We'll take a break.
I got an idea. What? First one to miss watches a winner eat 2 Big Macs.
Hey, can I play?
No. Over the Grand Canyon, off your face, through the window, off the floor, nothing but net.
Watch this shot.
Hey, can I play?
No! Out the hatch, over the beach, through the window, off the scoreboard, nothing but net.
Please, pretty please.
No!
you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
No. Larry, I'm hungry. What do you say I buy you a Big Mac? I'll buy. No, I'll buy. Flavor Sue buys. Okay. Around Saturn, through the dipper. Nothing but net.
Guys, I can make that.
The competition included more than 100 of the world's best cars. But in the end, only one was judged a car ahead. Motor Trend's Import Car of the Year, the new Accord from Honda.
1:48 left in this one, and waiting in the wings, Dick Enberg and Steve Jones standing by to bring you Game 3 of our triple header. Chris Webber and the Golden State Warriors against Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns in that wild, wild West.
Top to bottom there, Sean Kemp trying to join the elite group of players that have a chance to win this championship this year. San Antonio having to regroup. Rodman, injury to David Robinson. Don Nelson, great coaching, good job in game 1. Webber, though, has got to play better defense on Barkley. And then Houston, watch out for Portland. They're still playing well. Drexler, phenomenal game in game 1.
And the winner of this series, Chicago and Cleveland, will face the winner of the Knicks-Nets series, with the Knicks taking a 2-0 lead in the first game of our triple header today. Put back for Tim Kempton. Chicago has outshot Cleveland 63% to just under 25% in the fourth quarter. 4 of 14 Cleveland in this quarter, while Chicago is connected on 10 of 16. When it got down to crunch time, the fourth quarter, the Bulls, as they did in game 1, assumed control of the contest.
You have to just give the Bulls so much credit for what they've done with Luke Longley here. Here's a guy who was basically doing nothing at Minnesota. Comes down here, and now he's starting for a team that's got a great chance to win the championship.
What about earlier when he and Alonzo Mourning got into it down in Charlotte, which resulted in a key suspension of Mourning and thrown out of the Chicago game, a game that the Hornets could have won. They might be in the playoffs but for that incident.
Longley has got to make free throws like that.
Hill rebounds the second miss, and Cleveland quickly takes a 20-second timeout. As we check the Eastern Conference brackets now, maybe we won't, but we do know that the Knicks up 2-0 on the Nets, awaiting the winner of this series. It could be the Knicks and the Bulls again in the semifinals of the East this time.
Atlanta, Miami, they've got to get back to playing basketball rather than boxing. Orlando definitely with their work cut out for them. Huge game tomorrow. Indiana has won nothing yet. They've got to come out and finish strongly.
Are you shocked by the Orlando-Indiana series so far?
Yes, I am. Although I like Indiana's team a lot, I thought Orlando would play better. They've been playing inconsistently. They haven't really been able to put together strong games, strong periods, yes. And they've got to be able to get the ball to their key players in a good spot on the floor at the right time.
Price to Hill, blocked by Grant. They'll call a foul, but Grant was all over the ball and perhaps got him with a body.
The penetration, the dish, looked like a lot of ball. The important thing to realize, though, about this series and the New York Knicks-Nets series is that the games that are important is when the road team wins in the playoffs. Unless it's the 7th or 5th game in the short series like we're in right now. Cleveland is just fine. They've only got to win one game here and hold serve at home. Same with the Nets.
Approaching the final minute of this game 2. And the Bulls on the verge of taking a 2-0 lead in the best-of-5 series with Cleveland. Pippen left alone at the arc. Knocked out of bounds by the Bulls. And Cleveland will take a timeout. Just 47.8 seconds left as Fratello calls time.
Introducing a Honda that's not roomy, comfortable, or economical. Mind you, it is quick, though. See you at Indy.
Today's engines need Castrol GTX, the motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. Because if your oil breaks down, what's next? Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Take a new look at the Black & Decker Jigsaw. It's cut out for so many projects. It's one tool you'll use all around your house. Get the Jigsaw from Black & Decker.
I want to go out there and test it, you know. The money don't mean anything to me. You know, I can go out there and play for free.
The thing is, to get them 2 rings. That's what it is. That's what it is. If he had them 2 rings, it'd be...
So they can't do nothing to him now.
Right. Before he had the rings, he was like...
No, those rings don't mean anything, really.
Oh, those rings don't mean nothing?
They're just party history.
Can I have one?
No.
Timeout situation and the foul situation with 47.8 seconds left. And the series set to move to Cleveland for Game 3 on Tuesday. And it appears that Chicago will be up 2-0. What can the Cavs do, undermanned as they are, to try to nail down a couple of wins at home?
The biggest thing they have to realize is that what they've tried so far hasn't worked. So if you're going to stick with that, I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think you can just count on shooting better, because Chicago's going to play very well as Pippen picks up yet another foul. His 5th. Unfortunately for Cleveland, all their plays, and they're a very good set offensive team, they're designed for the guys who are all injured. Price's skill in running the pick and roll, that's in effect, and he's effective because they got Doherty, Nance, and Williams able to operate that. They might need to go, and I know Mike Fratello is reluctant to do this, but just go to a small lineup, put your 5 best guys out on the court, and see what goes there.
Mike was saying a real up-tempo game. You go with a small lineup and run from one end of the court to the other to outscore the team 130 to 125 or whatever. He said, but we're not in that kind of shape. We haven't played that way all season long, so we're not in that sort of physical condition to play that way.
But you got to try something. You can't just sit there and say, well, we hope our guys get better in the next 48 hours, because the skill level is not going to change. The health is not going to change.
One key to the Bulls taking command of the 4th quarter has been the defense on Gerald Wilkins. Through 3 quarters, Wilkins hit 8 of 12, 26 points.